if you believe in astrology, some people that watch.
No, I think you are too. Your hug, you came
I'm very huggy.
girly. Yeah.
I'm very feminine, but I also
maybe you're in the same soul pod. Maybe that's what that is.
I don't know. I don't know. What is it? Were you an Aries? Aren't you like an
Well,
Aries?
let me throw
You're an
something
Aries,
in
right?
here.
I just found it out.
Let me throw something in here real
I feel
quick
that.
because what we're having here is an emotional discussion rather than a rational discussion. Okay?
I don't think so.
No, we are because
I don't think so.
what you're stating, your presumptions are that men and women, we both have these emotional states and we need to develop these emotional states. I will tell you right now, that's bullshit. Okay. For men and women, for a biological fact between men and women process emotions differently,
Yes,
simply because
that's
of our
true.
neural wiring.
Yes,
okay,
that's true.
So when somebody says get in touch with your feminine side, or I can't believe that you didn't cry during Titanic because you're a guy and you didn't that move you to tears? No, it didn't, because I don't process emotion the same way that a woman
That's very
does.
true. That's
and
very
so
true.
what we're doing right now is we're trying to force fit men, like reprogram us, our social learning, into a female correct way of doing things. So the correct way to emote is like a woman emotes. And guys are not built for that because we simply don't have the same neurological wiring for that. But we'll go and we'll say, well, because you can't do that, there's something very, very wrong with you. You must be emotionally stunted. You must not be able to get in touch with your emotions. If you were, you'd be more like a chick. You'd be more like a woman if you could just do that. But the problem is like if we're going to say, well, we're both all blank slates and we both have the same capacity for emotion and we both have the same capacity for reason and whatever else, when we don't include our biological differences that predispose us to that, emotion is not fucking magic. It is not like some magic angel dust that drops down from heaven.
It's hormonal and chemical.
It is hormonal and chemical. It is an
100%.
interpretive process. So when you see something, you see the saber-toothed tiger and you have that adrenaline rush, you get fight or flight. You feel something right there and right then and there. For men, we tend to default to anger. Women tend to default to like crying or being upset. It's the vulnerable sex versus the sex that is really the disposable sex. But we don't process emotion. That's just one aspect of masculinity and femininity that is a conventional fact. But yet we still want to have this woo-woo magical thinking about things and say, well, we're gonna pretend that this Jungian psychology, where we have a female side and a male side. And you're a stunted guy if you can't find some sort of balance. You're already working against your own innate biology to do that in the first place. So
I
that's
agree with
why
that.
we have such a problem. We have gendered ideas about things like strength. That's why I was asking about that. What is your fucking idea of strength? What is that defined as? Is it physical strength?
Well,
is it
that's why I asked
mental
him.
strength?
That's why I asked
what,
him. I
what
said,
does
are
it
you
come
talking
down
about-
to?
right.
And in a female correct society, it's always going to be you got to be vulnerable and you got to be you have to have you get more in touch. A strong man is the guy who is more like a woman, and a strong woman who is more like a man. Imagine that.
Well, Ari, I am interested though. How do you answer that question though? What is strength to you?
To me, that's a deep question. That's a really deep question.
Well, because I think because
Let me
Rolla,
think
you
about it.
asked that, and I think
Right.
because
I think everyone will define that differently. I
Right,
really
it's
do.
my
Every
truth versus
person-
the truth.
Well, I don't think there is. Yeah, I don't think there's any direct. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any direct truth. I think it's going to be situational, depending on the person, depending on where they're
Do you
at
think
in
it's
their life.
subjective?
No, I don't.
You
I don't
think
think
it's- you
there is.
think
I
it's
think
a
that's a
universal-
very good marketing ploy by Oprah Incorporated. My truth.
No, she just wants to give you
there's
free
one.
things.
There is empirical truth. There's one objective truth, and how you
So
interpret
what's strength
it.
to you then? What
As
does
far
that
as
mean
strength
to you?
is it's being durability, physical strength for sure. Mental, like being in control of your emotions. That's another thing. So we have deified emotions right now. Emotion is our God at this point. So as long as you're doing it and it feels good for you and you're living your truth, then you are closer to love or God or whatever else it is, because that's the feeling that you get when you're living you're living who you are, right? But there is a objective, factual, empirical truth, and we've just talked about that throughout this entire show. The empirical truth is a woman cannot do the same physical aspects, the same physical things that a man can. But if I feel my truth is I'm going to go and do that anyways, and I get smashed in the face for it, well, I died trying living my truth, right? when you have objective truth versus your sort of, what I feel about this, we come right back to what we talked about before, which is the feels before reals. We've placed emotion before reason in every aspect of human society right now. And you want to know why we're where we're at? For every topic that we talk about, that's the fundamental reason.
Postmodernism, and I want to feel the room real fast. And I'm gonna start with Ariel. I mean, we don't have to go in order, but just does anyone not believe in objective truth? Because do we all believe in objective truth or no?
Oh, we're starting with you.
I don't know how to answer that.
Is 2 + 2 4?
Well, this is where we start to solve problems. Do we believe in objective truth that when we approach issues, there's a yes and a no?
I think,
and we're not talking about metaphysical, by the way.
Right. I think that the ego in me wants to say no, right? Because I want to say no. Everything is going to be the way I see it in my head because that makes me right. And I want to be right. But I don't think that's the point you're trying to make. The point you're trying to make is,
I'm not trying to make any point.
How do we make it? No,
it just helps you to know where we disagree, because it's fundamentally.
Well, we're just disagreeing on the usage of words.
But that's what I'm saying, though. But that's why because that's why we always disagree. Like, I've had these discussions at many events with people, and rather than arguing Democrat and Republican, nationalist versus globalist, it's just do you believe there's a universal truth? And half the time when someone says no, I'm like, then we're never going to be able to come to any conclusion in discussions, personally for me, because I believe there's a dogmatic universal truth. Now that again, if someone doesn't believe in that, then I might sound like an asshole or a bigot, which maybe I kind of am, but maybe I'm proud of that. I don't know.